Today's recipe is extra special. I have actually been wanting to make this for probably the last 6 months, and I don't know why I've taken so long. So today I'm finally going to make it for you, and this is going to be kind of like a copycat version of Ben & Jerry's half-baked ice cream, which their version has both chocolate and vanilla ice cream with little brownie bites and cookie dough bites in it. This version will be a little bit different because it's not going to have two types of ice cream. It's just going to have vanilla ice cream, but it is going to have the brownie bites and the chocolate chip cookie dough bites in it. And so I'm super excited to make this for you today. So because of the type of recipe it is going to have to be done in stages. So the first stage is to make the brownie bites, at which point I will freeze. And then I will make the cookie dough bites, which again I will ball up and freeze. And then I will start preparing the vanilla ice cream. Now once the vanilla ice cream is prepared, I can't churn it yet. It actually needs to sit in the fridge for at least 3 hours, up to 24 hours overnight. And because of the time of day it is, I probably won't be churning till tomorrow morning. So this recipe is actually going to take today and tomorrow morning before I finish it. But for you guys, of course, it's all in one video. It's not going to take any time at all for you. So to get started, and this is, real quick, this is a churn ice cream. I will link my Amazon affiliate link to the specific ice cream maker that I use. The great thing about this ice cream maker is it's a freeze bowl. That means no rock salt, no mess, super easy, easy cleanup. So let's get started. The first thing that's up is the brownie bites. So even though the overall recipe may seem a little bit complicated, each part is actually really simple. So for the brownie bites, all the ingredients go into the bowl all at once and mix together. So it really doesn't get any easier than that. So what you're going to need is 6 tablespoons of almond flour, 6 tablespoons of powdered erythritol, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 5 tablespoons of butter that's been softened to room temperature. Now I'm just going to get this all well mixed together with my hand mixer. Now it's going to take probably at least a minute to get this mixed well. When you're first mixing it, it's going to seem like it's going to stay powdery the whole time, but once the butter starts breaking down and getting into the rest of the ingredients, then you're going to see the dough start to cream up and it's not going to be powdery anymore. So let me show you. Let's take a quick look inside that bowl. So that's how it's going to look. There we go. From that angle, you can see it's very creamy in there. Once it's ready, once you're done mixing, now I'm just going to take a little half teaspoon and I'm just going to create little bitty brownie bites that I'll put on a parchment lined baking sheet. And then once I have this all scooped out, then I will put this in the freezer and I will move on to making the cookie dough bites. So before I move on, I only filled up about half of this tray with the brownie bites because a full tray of brownie bites plus, or half a tray of brownie bites and half a tray of cookie dough bites is going to be plenty for this batch of ice cream. I did have a little bit left over, so I'm probably just going to scoop this into a bowl to refrigerate, and then people can just kind of take a little brownie bite as they have a sweet tooth craving. On to part 2. This is where we make the chocolate chip cookie dough bites. And this is almost as easy as brownie bites, except we do have one ingredient that goes in after, and that's going to be the chocolate chips. So we're going to start with 1 cup of almond flour. We're going to have 4 tablespoons of butter, again softened, 1/4 cup of powdered swerve, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So like the brownie bites, it's going to take a minute for this to come together well. I gotta wait for the butter to break down and start creaming with the other ingredients. So you'll want to mix this for at least a good minute. And then once this is mixed, we will pour in 2 ounces of Lily's chocolate chips and stir those in really good before we start scooping out the little cookie dough bites. And so when the cookie dough is done, again, it's very creamy, a little bit crumbly, but not powdery. And so now we're going to just dump in the 2 ounces of Lily's chocolate chips, and we're going to stir that until it's well combined. And then the final piece to this part is just to scoop out, again, about half teaspoon size little balls of cookie dough onto the same pan as you have the little brownie bites, and then all of this will go into the freezer together until it's ready to be mixed into a freshly churned vanilla ice cream. So the cookie dough caught the brownie bites, we'll have a little bit left over, which I'll just put into a bowl for later, just for a little quick snack to satisfy a sweet tooth. And this is ready. I'm going to put it in the freezer, and there's no need to cover it. I just put it in the freezer until I am ready to combine it with the ice cream. We are down to the final piece of putting together our ingredients for the half-baked ice cream, and that is the vanilla ice cream. Like I said, the actual half-baked ice cream uses two kinds of ice cream, chocolate and vanilla, and you can definitely do that, but I only have one ice cream maker and one ice cream storage container, so that's just not gonna work for me today. So before we get started, we do want to make an ice bath, and that's simply 1 bowl of ice water with a second bowl on top. And the reason we do this is because after the ice cream is made, we want to quick chill it before we put it into the refrigerator for chilling. To make the vanilla ice cream, you're gonna want 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of almond milk, and then finally you want 1/2 cup of swerve sweetener. And I'm gonna heat this up to about 175 degrees Fahrenheit. And to measure that, I had a cookie thermometer, or a candy thermometer, which has since broke. And so I have to use a meat thermometer. They measure the same, it's just not an instant read like the candy thermometer is, but it does at a pinch until I get the candy thermometer replaced. So this can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. You don't want to heat it too quickly because you could burn the milk. This, on my stove, I would normally put it on about medium heat, but this portable burner burns a lot hotter. So I've only got it on about 1 or 2 because this heats up a little too much for the ice cream. Now, while this is heating up, you'll want to separate 4 egg yolks into a bowl. The egg whites, you know, you can do what you want with those. You can make meringue cookies, you could make just some scrambled whites, or you could dump it. It really just kind of depends on what you want to do, but you only need the egg yolks. Once your milk and sugar mixture has heated up to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to remove it from the burner, and you're only going to pour about 1 cup of it into just a measuring cup. That's what you're going to use to temper the eggs, and the best way to do that is to just start scrambling the eggs right away and then slowly pour in the hot liquid while you continue to whisk the eggs vigorously. The reason you don't just dump the eggs in and whisk them in the hot liquid is because the liquid is hot enough that the eggs will instantly scramble, and that would be nasty. So that would not bode well for ice cream. Once you have 1 cup of the hot mixture tempered with the eggs, then we're just going to reverse that process, and now I'm going to start whisking the milk mixture as I pour the tempered eggs back into the saucepan. All right, for this last little bit, we're going to return the saucepan to the burner and then turn it back on, again, depending on your oven, anywhere between 1 and 2, all the way to medium high. It just depends on how hot your burner gets. So this, we're going to just continue to heat it until it gets back to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we will dump it into the ice bowl for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, in 10 or 15 minutes, this will be ready to wrap up and go into the fridge. I'm gonna cover this up, stick it in the fridge, and I will be back tomorrow to churn this and put everything together. All right, the ice cream has been sitting in the fridge overnight, and we just have a few things to do to it before we put it into our ice cream maker. And the first thing I want to do, I add about 2 tablespoons of vodka, and you're not even going to taste it. Really, it's just to keep the ice cream from getting too hard. So 2 tablespoons of vodka, about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I add another ½ teaspoon of liquid stevia, and I'm just going to whisk that up really good. All right, it's time to move this into the ice cream churner. All right, this needs to go for about 20 minutes. Sometimes, depending on how frozen the freeze bowl is, if it doesn't look like the ice cream's about to really come up the top, then I might put it in for another 5 minutes, but it's really 25 minutes at the most. Now it's time for the magic. We're going to put everything we've made together into my ice cream container. So this just finished churning. I do want to disclaimer real quick. As soon as it's done churning, immediately get it into your ice cream storage container. If you leave it in the freeze bowl, it will completely freeze to the sides. You will not be able to get this paddle attachment out of the ice cream maker until it thaws back out. I made that mistake about 2 weeks ago, and it was sad and funny and tragic all at the same time because I felt like I kind of lost some of my ice cream that I was putting into the storage container. So now what I'm going to do, I've also pulled out my brownie bites that I made yesterday, as well as the chocolate chip cookie dough bites. And I'm going to scoop about half of this into the container. Then I'll put a layer of chocolate chip cookie dough and brownie bites in, and then do another layer, and then we're going to swirl it all around to get it good and mixed up. And you may find with this, you know, how many brownie bites and cookie dough you want in here. It's a personal choice. I like a lot. So I'll probably use, all if not most of this. Now these storage containers that I'm showing right here, they are actually the perfect size storage containers for this ice cream maker I have. So I will also make sure and link in the description box below the affiliate link for where you can purchase these on Amazon. Now I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. Ooh, this might be a little too full. And again, I'm just going to start kind of mixing up just the different bites that are already in here. And then I will add in more. I might actually run out of room to add everything in here. Maybe I made a little too much. That's okay, because it's all still going to be good. And if I need to I can eat one of these that are left over. So I'm going to let this, it's going to go back into the freezer. And I'm going to let it in the freezer for at least 3 hours. A little bit longer if possible, because right now it's about the consistency of soft serve ice cream, which is great, and you can eat it right now if you want. But I do like the ice cream to be a little bit harder. I will link to a few other ice cream recipes in the description box below. And if I'm not back to scoop this out at the end of the video, then you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know if you make this ice cream, and also comment below if there are any ice cream flavors that you would like to see me make. And aside from that, you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next video.